but that main event, oh my God, like it was so good. And yeah, like and it sounds like you guys were both nodding. People that are not watching and only listening maybe don't see, but you guys, I think you both agree. Kevin, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, when it was over, I actually thought the first one was, I don't know if I'd call it better, but I had a better memory of the first one. And I think because maybe it was just the bar was so high for this one that it was like, it's not that it disappointed me in any way. I thought it was incredible. And probably if I go back and watch it again, I'll see details of how it was like laid out and things that, as a storyteller point of view, that it would be like, oh, that actually was structured even better, technically or whatever. But I think the first one just caught me so off guard in a way of how good it was, that it's like, that's going to be the most memorable. But, I think that's when you think about like great rivalries, like, trying to think of like, Flair and Steamboat or something, from back in the day, like they had that 2 or 3 or not that. Yeah. They had a 2 or 3 falls match in the middle of the series.
Mm-hmm.
But the one they always remember is the last one or the first, because there's just, I don't know if it's just tighter or whatever.
Rock and Austin is another memorable rivalry.
So I would, they're like, both in probably the top 5 matches, tag team matches I've seen, like, maybe ever. But
wow.
It was an exhausting match, and part of it was like the physical punishment, like how physical that match was. There was a point where I was like, guys, you don't have to do this for me. Like,
and then 5 minutes later they go through a table.
Yeah. I've become very emotionally attached to Dax Harwood as a performer, and just he was either selling so well or he was really struggling during that match. And there was a certain point where I was just like, no, don't pick him up for that. He can't do that right now, And so there was a part that's like I was feeling for the guys as performers, and almost to the point where it's like, and I feel this way a lot during hardcore matches, where it's like you don't got to go this far.
Yeah, and the hardcore match, like this had hardcore elements to it, but it wasn't like, it was a match, like they waited to do the hardcore stuff until it made sense in the course of the match. The referee was down, or like they were outside the ring and they weren't the legal men. Like they were very careful about that part. And
and it all made sense. Like none of it was like, and I will place the table here for use at a later time.
That table was there for 40 minutes, like, before it. And then it was like, boom, like they went through it and it shattered. Like
even Caprice set it up well when they were going
right timing with the referee match or with the referee not being available. They put it at just the right time where you were frustrated enough that it was like, this can't keep happening. And then it did kind of stop happening, where it was like, okay, I'm back in the ring and we're not going to play like this anymore. We're going to really.
And they both got their visual pinfalls. So that was good. Like nobody had an excuse. And the one little nitpick I had, and it's not even their fault. They did the spot, like the deadlifting spot, where the guy's trying to go up for a move and Dax was still on the ground. And the only problem was Serena Deeb had already done it. And so that sense, like that might've just been an agenting thing. Like if you're going to do that spot in one match, don't do it in the other one. And you know what, if you're going to do it in the main event, don't do it in the women's title match. Like, I'm sorry, like it would have meant just a little bit more, because here it just looked, oh my God, they're doing this again. But again, it was a very small part of the match.
One thing that makes that that a thought that you just reminded me of was, there's been talk this week of how sad it is that pile drivers don't mean anything anymore. With like the Wheeler Yuta match last week. And so it was pretty cool at the end. I mean, I've never I'm trying to think if I've seen just a straight up pile driver off the second turnbuckle before like that.
Jay Briscoe needs to go to William Regal for training to learn how to adjust his neck.
Turn your head sideways because it stops the fall. But like at that point, when that happened, I thought, if he kicks out of this thing, I'm going to be so pissed.
And he didn't.
And then he didn't.
Yeah. I was literally, because like it's funny. I was expecting him to kick out, And then when he didn't kick out, it made the match better for me.
Yeah, me too.
I was literally like, because I rate every match, and I have a star rating thing on I have a spreadsheet. I tweet it out every once in a while. People can look at it. And I was ready to give it 4 3/4 stars. And then when he didn't kick out, I gave it 5 because it was like, yeah. Mel, any additional thoughts on this incredible main event?
Well, I forgot this was 2 out of 3 falls.
Oh,
it was one of those things where it had slipped my mind that was part of the deal, and I went, "Oh, wait a minute," and I'm on the fence about 2 out of 3 falls until Okada and Omega had the most amazing match ever, and I just thought that was and I think that this had a very similar feel to it as that one, where it had 3 acts in the 2 out of 3 fall situation, where it was like, so, I mean, I'm essentially echoing what you guys said. It felt really big. And when when they led with Claudio and Gresham there, it was like, wow, they must really want to give time to this match here. And they were able to do it because this felt good. Like, it felt like everybody in the match got to live out what they were looking for from the match. And then the finish was just like, I mean, that was worth the $40 right there. And I mean, I like the pure match a lot too, but that was, separately.
I didn't see it. I didn't see a Pure Rules match. I'm not sure what you're talking about.